Good morning. Hi there, beautiful souls, and welcome back or welcome to The Hawk. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, with all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I had a little bit of a glitch getting on the live this morning. YouTube wouldn't let me on the live, so it took me a couple tries, but here I am. Hopefully, you find me over here on the live versus the other one. So the energy update for the week. We're coming into a new month. Good morning. Hi there. Good morning. I was just saying that I had a little hard time getting on YouTube Live this morning. There seemed to be a glitch in the system, so let's hope I don't get kicked off. Energy for the week. We're coming into a new month, October. How are we getting here so fast? It's been a beautiful fall here so far in Kitchener, Ontario. I've been spending a lot of time outside. The energy for the week feels a lot like fresh starts, like a renewal, new information within you, action and motivation. Balance is also big on the plate for this week. I'm being able to tap into remembering to stay balanced. When sometimes when things feel so good, we kind of like lean into doing too much or overdoing it. The balance is going to be huge. I also picked up on an energy this morning in my meditation of a master teacher energy coming forward. So perhaps this will be in the form of a spirit guide, or maybe even a person maybe stepping forward to help you out, to help teach you. And this master teacher energy had a big push. So I think October is going to be bringing in fresh new energy with fresh new lessons, and always kind of remembering that we are here learning, and those lessons sometimes can bring us into some turbulence. But I really feel that this master teacher energy that's coming forward is coming in to teach us new things, guide us into new direction. And when new directions come in, sometimes us as humans, we struggle with letting go of the old and leading into the new. And I think even for myself, that has been a huge one for me over my journey, is learning that it's okay to shift directions, and it's okay to go somewhere new or try something different. The other energy that came through with this master teacher energy is taking responsibility for your own learning and healing, and leaning in on your own inner strength and your own heart space and your own stuff, working on your own stuff. And there's nothing wrong with being able to say, okay, I got to shift that. I got to work through some of that. I've got, these feelings are coming up, and I've got to work on my own healing. This master teacher energy left me very excited at the end of my meditation. I was like, oh boy, I'm ready for a new master teacher as well. So watch for that energy. Sometimes it can be very subtle. Sometimes that master teacher energy can be whispers from the universe. It can be very loud and in your face. But keep an eye open for that. Keep your ears open, your spiritual ears and your spiritual lenses, and your intuition, right? What am I learning here? What's this coming up for? How can I look at this from a learning perspective, and kind of reminding yourself that we're all really students here anyway in the physical world, that lifelong learning. I also feel a lot of changes without notice. Like all of a sudden it's like, I'm over here. Oh, I'm over here learning this. It felt like that, but it felt like very like learning momentum. It just felt like, let's go over here and try this and learn this. I'm having this experience and I'm learning this. The master teacher energy, I'm hoping that I get more from spirit as the month of October chugs along. But there is a big master teacher energy, and it feels delicious with pushing us. Now, sometimes, an indicator can be, something that's a repeating lesson. Why is this coming up again? Why is this coming up again? And it's to take you up to the next level within your own personal journey and your own learning. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. So just kind of remember that I said it. Also remember other people. You may be seeing other people kind of navigating through fresh starts, or other people, leaning into balance, or trying to figure it out, or they're trying to figure out their action and motivation. It's a very action plan month. Energetically, it feels like there's a lot of action, which but I can even say it with a chuckle when I re-tap back into it energetically. But sometimes we are the teachers of other people too. Perhaps you may be a master teacher for someone that's learning. Sometimes we're the ones that are teaching too, and as teachers we do learn as well. So that is kind of what I tapped into for this week. And spirit gave me, the feeling of the month flavor. I will be on, weekly anyway, but I just feel this excitement with learning and master teacher energy. So perhaps some of us are getting new spirit guides this month, and a new spirit guide is always welcomed, at least in my thought process. Let's grab some questions here. here because I do have to be mindful of the time. I am working in person this week. So let's grab a couple questions here. And if you have any questions about the energy, you're always welcome to put it in the chat as well. Good to see so many of you joining me. Where are we going here? Olivia. Oh, hello, Olivia. Wes, any messages from me from spirit? Wes, I just feel like it's a gentle reminder of you doing really well and you've navigated through a lot of change and continuing to acknowledge yourself that way and to continue to be open. And I feel like you are doing very well with that, Wes, but I don't know if you've been like a little bit hard on yourself or processing some things, but just remember to kind of pat yourself on the back too. That hasn't changed in the last couple energy updates for you there, Wes. B, visited my family's church this week, started by my family 60 years ago. Oh, wow, B, that sounds incredible. It was powerful, and I want to go back. Any messages for me? Thank you. B, I love that. Number one, I love any old energy and feeling and tapping into that. I also feel, B, that you're feeling the ancestry there, and I would just kind of be open for messages, and maybe just simply talking to your ancestors with being able to tap in and say, hey, like, can you help me understand or help me feel or help me sort through? I really feel this connection with your intuition kind of sharpening up there. Do you have good intuition now? Yes, yes, you do. But I also feel this deeper connection, and it can be deeper connection to not just the ancestors but the spirit. I just feel it. I feel you learning and growing, and I feel you having your own experiences with receiving messages. Just journal them, learning to trust them at a deeper level, working on trusting what you're feeling and what you're getting. But I feel like they're going to be reaching out to you at a different, or perhaps at a higher level, with what I just talked about with the master teacher. So lean in there and just be open to receive whatever they're going to share with you. All right, Laura. I've had some big feelings recently when love a message from spirit if you're drawn to me. Laura, I really feel that, these big feelings, allowing them to be acknowledged and move through. Feelings and emotions are our own connection to not just to ourselves, but to our what we need. And I feel like some of these feelings need to be acknowledged, but gently. So be gentle with yourself, being able to, give yourself that grace to feel and move through and a space to release them. So for me, I love, I've said this 1,000 times. I love the forest. I love back against a tree. I actually have a video that I'm going to upload later on today with just connecting with nature and the tree and being able to lean on a tree for support. Or the water, go down to the water and giving yourself some time. I also feel a little bit of alone time will help you as well, Laura, with just kind of like talking out loud or in your mind alone to kind of allow yourself to have those processes. And feelings and emotions are okay, right? Sometimes we shy away from them. It's okay. It's okay to feel them, acknowledge them, let them move through you, and being able to release them. I also feel, Laura, again with the master teacher energy, there's something here that you're learning about the letting go process. So happy releasing. Joy, will you all think of me this couple hours? I'm waiting for my doctor's call. Absolutely, Joy. We're holding you in love and light and support. And please know that this community does support you. PJ, good morning, Lana. I have a cousin missing. I'm curious if you see him pass. I had a reading and a T, I'm not sure what that word is. T culprit. Tell me whether he was his highest self or has passed. I'm okay if he passed. I just want to know. PJ, this is an interesting question. Sometimes spirit doesn't tell us, and sometimes spirit does tell us, and from many different reasons. Especially, so I feel that there are answers coming, whether or not he's passed or not. I'm also not 100% sure. But I also feel that there's answers coming. So whether that be answers, that you're going to hear of, or answers, through any kind of policing, I do feel that there's answers. I don't feel a question mark much longer. um, I'm really not sure, PJ. And the reason for that is sometimes that information can change things that, or it may not be my role or my place to kind of give that information. But sometimes spirit doesn't share. And I just had this conversation with somebody, who came for a reading with me last week, where they wanted some pretty heavy answers and spirit wasn't sharing. And I explained, there may be bigger reasons for that. So, we're not told everything all the time. Big hugs to you, PJ. Nisa, my dad has has this cough since February. It is it residual from the cancer treatments or something new? So he'll be going to see ENT. Just wanted to see if you felt something. Nisa, I feel a little bit of both. So I do feel, and I'm happy to hear that you that he's leaning in on the medical world. I don't feel overly concerned, but I do feel like there's a bit of both. Some of it's residue, and some of it may be something else, something that's going on. But I don't have a heavy feeling with it. I also feel like it almost feels like an irritation. So I'm just curious if his throat always feels irritated. Jazz, hey Lana, do you have any messages from my spirit guides in terms of my future career? Thank you. Jazz, I feel like all like I feel like you're very much in alignment with being open to new opportunities, but I feel like I've got to turn up the volume on that or turn up the dial on that. Just very simple things with I'm open for new opportunities. I'm open for things to change at an even louder pace. So little things that you can do is increasing the job searching, increasing where you're looking. You don't have to make any big decisions, but I always like to say that opening up the energy even more. I don't feel that there's a delay or anything like that. I just feel like I need to turn the volume up on it and really kind of stand in the energy of I'm going to land where I need to land and turning up that trust. I actually feel a lot of excitement there, Shaz. So I always say keep trying to open those doors. Shari, does Spirit have any messages for me today? I know they want to tell me something, but I can't hear what. Um, Shy. So I really feel that practicing and perhaps you already are, but continuing or doing it a little bit more often on quieting the thoughts. I feel like they're saying slow down the headspace, and I feel like you're like, oh man, that's a big one. I feel like they want more of that quiet time, more of that breathing time. I feel like the chaos energy, I feel like they're kind of like trying to push you out of it in more of a calm, quiet, clarity kind of space. So, many ways of doing it. Shine, you probably know some of these. It can be earbuds in, just kind of listening to some music that kind of quiets you. It can be just giving yourself, moments matter where I'm just going to sit and breathe, focus on my breath, even for 30 seconds. I feel like they're trying to slow down the physical world a little bit for you so that you can elevate into a higher level with your own connecting to your own spirit guides. Hope you found that helpful. Olivia, I need extra support and I will be on high alert for this week's support or this week for sure. I love that. I love that. Olivia, one thing that you can do is very similar advice that I just gave to Shy there is being able to pause a little bit, being able to kind of tap into what's happening around you, any repeat lessons, being more action based. I'm going to take action. I'm going to work on that kind of space, but also with the balance. Sometimes we get I'll use the word stimulated with the physical world with what's going on in our own sometimes chaos or social media, being able to pause a little bit more. you know the master teacher energy does need us to kind of sit down and open up to, okay, I'm just going to breathe and see what I feel. And as always, moments matter. All right, Angela. Good morning, Lana, and everyone on the call. Hi there, Ange. Good to see you. Vinny, good morning. I'm working on some new creative projects. I'm wondering if there is any guidance from Spirit. Vinny, I love the feeling of these new creative products. This feels delicious to me. I also feel like there's been some channeling going on. So I'm curious if you've been feeling that, Vinny, if you've been feeling like the information is also being kind of guided and helped and supported for your creative projects. I feel like you're aware there. I just feel like there's just been this channeling of new energy. And I feel that you've done really well here, Vinny, with allowing that, with allowing the days where the creative juice flows really well and allowing yourself to have days where it doesn't flow. And I just feel like you're allowing so much more. Laura, yes, please wrap this up. I'm all about that. Let's wrap it up. Um, let's see, here we go. Len, if you have a moment, could you please see if Spirit has a message for me? Anna, And I'm really pulled to grab you a spirit animal book or a spirit animal. Let me just ask for a spirit, or you can ask for a spirit guide to kind of guide you. I was really pulled to the book here this morning. Bull, it was where I stopped. This is a fertile and dynamic time. So allow yourself to indulge in any creative projects you've been considering. Life is headed for an upturn cycle, so welcome it and enjoy it. This is a prosperous time for you, and you'll soon receive an unexpected windfall. Oh, wow. Now, windfall, can definitely be abundance, but it can also be a windfall of new people, a windfall of new energy, a windfall of change. It doesn't maybe it is abundance, but that can also be a windfall of other things. Enjoy the material possessions you have and release those that have served their purpose and are no longer useful. Set your sights on your goal, get committed to it, and move forward in a steady and persistent move steadily and persistently. And don't rush ahead. Don't rush ahead. That was pretty powerful there, Anna. So there's some big things coming in and some change coming in, and you're headed for an upturn cycle. Helpful, I hope. Um, let's see where Aaron, you've helped me with my basement a couple of weeks ago, and you mentioned a short, kind man. I decided to call him William. It feels like it resonates with his actual name. Oh, I love that. I did a little bit of channeling for Erin when she was having an issue with her basement, and we both picked up an energy that's been kind of hanging out there. Lindsay, good morning, Lana. I'm struggling with a lot. I'm struggling a lot with my cat Spencer and knowing what he wants and needs. Any advice from Spirit would be great. Um, Lindsay, I feel like you're doing a really good job here with Spencer. I feel like you're navigating this exactly with what he knows, so exactly with what he wants and what he needs. And I feel like I just need to say, continue with the support, continue with all that loving vibrations that you give. I feel like you are holding that space and doing very well, even though you may feel it as a struggle. I feel like it's that mama energy that you're nurturing him from that mama. That mom. This is what he shows me my mom's holding me and navigating and supporting me through this, and that's what he just continues to need. And I'll also reach out to you, Lindsay, as well, and go a little bit deeper into that. Mandy Greenhill, good morning, Lana. Anything from Spirit? Thank you. I just literally seen a red carpet of leaves, Mandy, just underneath your feet. So as the leaves fall and how you have that red and orange and yellow ground cover, I feel like I need to kind of get you to either barefoot or even with shoes on, is to kind of stand on that carpet of leaves, that red. I don't know, they're showing me maybe there's a lot of red leaves where you're at now, but really kind of like honoring you and feeling the support and feeling the grounding nature energy. But it's almost like a VIP from the nature energy. It's almost like they're reminding you that you're a VIP, like that red carpet kind of feel. Ooh, I love that. But being able to kind of like really acknowledge everything that you are, right? All of it, and be able to kind of like walk through that space with your head held high. They just literally went like that VIP catwalk, like down the red carpet of the forest. Oh, I love that. Mandy, give that a try and just watch, just kind of like observe your own energy and the letting go that happens and feeling that VIP. Spirit's reminding you that you're a VIP. Oh man, that's a beautiful message. Um Okay, you guys, I'm just gonna grab a couple more. Unfortunately, I've gotta wrap this up today. I know I mentioned it last week. I am gonna try and do a YouTube live where we can just sit and answer questions where I don't feel the constrictions of time. Tabitha, hi Lana. I was at my dad's and his new roof looks great. Hopefully his home sells before the end of the year. He send me a chickadee this weekend as a message? Oh, Tabitha. Um, Literally, I just got, like, those goosebumps. Absolutely, he did. Absolutely, he did, and I feel like you felt that too. I don't even think you need me to say that. I am gonna continue to also keep sending energy to sell that house, as you are doing very well with trusting it. I'm trusting the process, I'm trusting what needs to be done, I'm try work on just with that trust factor as well there, Tabitha. Laura, thank you so much, Lana, you're very welcome. Jazz Romeo, Mad Chill, Psychic Medium, Joy, sending you love and light. Oh, you guys are so good to each other. Nisa, yes, he currently is clearing his throat or coughing. If he isn't drinking or sucking on a cough drop, he's coughing. It's progressively gotten worse. Lisa or Nisa, absolutely, stay with the medical world and the support there. Um, Kayla, hi Lana, I'm struggling. Strangers are being extremely rude to me for no reason, as well as customers at work. I don't do anything to hurt anyone, so I'm confused why I get harassed lately. Okay, Kayla, many of us are surrounded by people who are really struggling. And and depending on where you work and what you're, or where we're at, and the communities that we're in, that volume is really loud right now. So people are struggling. Remembering that when people project things like that, they're showing their own unhealed stuff or their own energy that they are struggling with. I would probably turn up my protection, so visualizing a beautiful ball of white light around you all the time, or bringing a spirit guide with you to work, or putting a crystal in your pocket. Not picking up other people's energy and it is huge. I always try to look at people. Oh, bless their hearts, they're really struggling right now, and unfortunately, the arrow is launched at me. I just feel like I need to remind you that it's not you. Sometimes, people will take an energy dump and we end up being in front of it. But there are so many people that are struggling energetically, and they're struggling to understand, and they're struggling to find their way. I try to have that lens when I look at people. I lean in there with as hard as I can, and I don't absorb it. So observe, don't absorb. Energy protection. Little things you can do, Kayla, is after work is, taking a shower to wash off the energy that's not yours. Having that conversation with yourself over and over again, that this isn't mine, this isn't mine, this isn't mine. But people do release, and they don't always have a consideration as to how that affects us or other people around them, right? They're not as energetically aware. I always go to the compassion side. Right, and I don't feed it. I also try really hard not to have a knee-jerk reaction to other people's stuff. I try really, really hard. Right, so I know that I'm doing my best and I'm helping the best that I can, and I'm being, and I'm trying to give support, but I don't take on. I try to, like, keep it over here. All right, let's grab a spirit animal for the week. Green. Do what you need to bring greater balance into your life. It's a great time for abundance and plenitude, one in which you won't want for anything. Ooh, I love that. A portal has opened that allows you a glimpse of the future without fear and trepidation. Master teacher, perhaps. Uh, maintain a relaxed, uh, maintain a relaxed vigilance at this time, paying close attention to signs and omens. Master teacher energy. It's time to revive and restore that hobby or recreational interest you once enjoyed. Well, for all you creative people out there, I love that so much. There's a new energy coming in this week, and I'm really excited to see how that unfolds for the month of October. October feels good. October feels renewed, and the master teacher, all those things that we talked about already. And perhaps it's some of the, a change in perspective. I'm going to do an angel number. Perhaps it can be a change of, of perspective as well for a large number of us. All right, 253, angel number 253. Your heartfelt prayers are the reason for the changes that you're making or considering. These changes are truly answers to your prayers, so welcome them in. Should we do an angel card? Should we do an oracle card? I think we should. Thumbs up if you're enjoying hanging out with me, guys. All right, let's do an angel card. Let's have a wee shuffle. Trying to get as much time with you guys as I possibly can, but I do have to get out of here. That card fell. Hold on. Sorry. All right. Ask for a sign. Ask, 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 ask. Um, Asking for signs, I personally do it all the time. I'm always saying to spirit, show me, teach me. I always ask. Asking it opens up the energy, right? So asking for a sign is a powerful, powerful, powerful way of connecting with spirit yourself. Signs can be from spirit, nickels, dimes, pennies, butterflies, feathers. It can be a smell, a song. It can be a feeling. A sign can be a feeling. Can you give me can you give me a sign that you're with me? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've got that person in my awareness. And then perhaps they've passed, or perhaps it can be an animal. An animal can be a sign too. Being open to ask for signs is extremely magical. Um, I also feel that, signs can come in many different ways, and I always try to remind people to stay wide open to whatever sign spirit wants to send you. But asking and setting an intention is huge. It opens us up. And if we can pause long enough to see the magic, a sign can be, something that floats by in the sky. I had an interesting conversation with a lovely lady named Barb. We did a butterfly release together, and she shared with me on how many messages she sees in the clouds, and it was profound, like initials and names. And she at every butterfly release, there's something going on in the sky with the clouds for messages for people who are there to release a butterfly in honor of themselves or in honor of someone that they've lost. So messages and signs can come in so many different ways, and it's just important to ask and to keep an eye open. And sometimes we overthink them. I try not to. If I feel that's a sign, I don't need any more validation other than how it feels to me. Right? Sometimes we get too hooked up on the validation. Just trust what you feel and trust what you get. Trust what you see. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. I'm always grateful for my Monday morning energy updates with you guys. Um, I know I've been kind of shortening up the questions. I am going to try really hard to kind of spend some extra time here when I get a little bit of a break in my schedule. I think flies are my spirit animal. I've been seeing ones a lot in my dreams, and also I saw that video. It was a cool little video. I have another one that I'm gonna post today. It's short and sweet. These some of my videos that I'm doing, but it's sometimes that's all we need is a short and sweet spiritual reminder. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings. Have a spirit guided week, you guys, and remember how loved you are. Bye.